Hello and welcome to students returning to level 6 at the University of Suffolk at East Coast College. So welcome back to your studies. We will reintroduce you to studying after the summer break and explain the differences between study at level 5 and level 6, remind you of the university's policies and procedures and outline your to-do tasks before you come back. So topics we will cover are study differences between level 5 and level 6, dissertation and project, student finance, SEND and DSA, academic integrity, including artificial intelligence use, the student charter, student life and student support services. So study differences in teaching and learning. You'll experience a range of learning experiences including synchronous and asynchronous activities, flipped learning and problem-based learning. You will engage in collaborative learning approaches enabling students to become active members of the learning community. You shouldn't expect teaching to be the same as it was last year, and sometimes students complain that they are not being supported, when what they really mean is they're not being told exactly what to do. The key differences will be explored in the next few slides. So study differences between teaching and learning. Teaching and learning is negotiated, whereby you are required to draw on your first year experiences to prepare for sessions using a blend of suggested methods and materials and those you source and evaluate yourself. You will be supported to identify and negotiate with staff appropriate learning activities to meet your needs. You will be expected to engage in collaborative work with reduced guidance and direction and independently reflect on your own learning needs. You will be told less what to do. Whereas teaching and learning at level 6 is independent, where you will draw on your level 4 and your level 5 experiences to use the module learning outcomes to shape your learning and prepare for contact sessions, to work collaboratively and independently with minimal structure and direction, all within the expectation of growing autonomy. So the differences between level 4 and level 5 in what you know. So the following are the knowledge attributes that the Framework for Higher Education Qualifications, the FHEQ, expect you to have at level 6. We have included the level 5 ones for your comparison. So at level 6 there are 5 points. Systematic understanding of the key aspects of their field of study, including acquisition of coherent and detailed knowledge, at least some of which is at or informed by the forefront of defined aspects of a discipline. The ability to deploy accurately established techniques of analysis and inquiry within a discipline. Conceptual understanding that enables the student to devise and sustain arguments and or solve problems, using ideas and techniques, some of which are at the forefront of a discipline, to describe and comment upon particular aspects of current research or equivalent advanced scholarship in the discipline, appreciation of the uncertainty, ambiguity and limits of knowledge, and the ability to manage their own learning and to make use of scholarly reviews and primary sources. For example, referenced research articles and or original materials appropriate to the discipline. So the study differences between 5 and 6 and what you have to do. So the following are the skills attributes that the Framework for Higher Education Qualifications expect you to demonstrate at level 6. We've also included level 5 for your comparison. So at level 6 there are 3 points. So apply the methods and techniques that have learned to review, consolidate and extend and apply their knowledge and understanding, and to initiate and carry out projects, to critically evaluate arguments, assumptions, abstract concepts and data that may be incomplete, to make judgments and to frame appropriate questions to achieve a solution or identify a range of solutions to a problem, and communicate information, ideas, problems and solutions to both specialist and non-specialist audiences. So the dissertational project. So a major piece of work you will have to undertake this year is your research project, sometimes known by different titles such as dissertation, major project or empirical study. You will present your findings in response to a question or proposition you selected. This will test the skills you have developed during your studies and an important part in determining your final grade, and is largely independent. You will drive the work. It will be the longest, most difficult and most important piece of work you will do, but it is also really rewarding, and it's wise to choose a subject you're genuinely interested in. If you want to find out a little bit more information about dissertations, you can visit the LibGuides section on dissertations by clicking on the link at the bottom of the page. So student finance. Again, please note that student finance has to be applied for each year. This includes tuition fees and maintenance loans. Please make sure you've secured your finance and have proof it's in place, and take action if it's not. You need to make sure you are also aware of how much funding you have remaining, especially if you have repeated or are repeating any years of study. So academic integrity and artificial intelligence. So we all have a duty to maintain academic standards, us to enforce the university policy, and it's your responsibility to avoid infringements. The consequences are severe at level 6 of not doing so. The two camps are poor academic practice and academic misconduct. Note that level 6 offences are not likely to be classed as poor academic practice. So a reminder of what academic misconduct is. So it's any action by a student which gives or has the potential to give an unfair advantage in an examination or assessment, or might assist someone else in gaining an unfair advantage, or any activity likely to undermine the integrity essential to scholarship and research. That covers plagiarism, collusion, contract cheating, fabrication, cheating, and failure to have ethical approval. The QR at the bottom right of the page will take you to the policies on the university website. So academic misconduct, these are the policy definitions. So plagiarism is the presentation of someone else's work or ideas as your own without proper acknowledgement. Collusion, unauthorised cooperation between at least two people, normally with the intent to deceive. Contract cheating, submission of work where you have paid or solicited another person to produce the work on your behalf, and this includes the use of artificial intelligence. Fabrication, the invention, alteration or falsification of data or evidence that contributes towards assessment. Cheating, any behaviour which you would reasonably know would have interfered with the fair operation of the assessment process and could gain an unfair advantage. And failure to have ethical approval, embarking on research activities which require ethical approval without that approval being formally granted. Particularly poignant or important for dissertations and projects, so you need to make sure you have any clearance, permissions or ethical approval for your projects before you gather any data. So academic integrity in AI. AI use is considered as a submission of work that has been produced on your behalf. Artificial intelligence can be used in some circumstances, such as to help plan work. However, its use must be correctly referenced. Note that in most cases, artificial intelligence does not produce responses that meet the assignment brief, so you will always be better off doing the work yourself. So the Student Charter. So the University of Suffolk Student Charter is updated annually. It clearly sets out the expectations from each other in terms of what you can expect from us and what we can expect from you. Makes it clear what you have agreed to do as a student and what could happen if you don't. It's important to have a look at this chart to familiarise yourself with the contents. We're all partners in your academic journey in community, and this can be found by clicking on the QR code at the bottom right, which will take you straight to the policy. So student life. A reminder that we have a supportive and positive environment where everyone will be treated with dignity, respect and courtesy at all times. You are reminded to conduct yourselves in accordance with these parameters. Think about the reputation of the university and the student body, and for the effect behaviour may have on others. We all want you to produce your best work. So please be aware of your obligations regarding conduct, acceptable standards of behaviour, and importantly, the key likely consequences of not meeting them. You are reminded that you confirmed that you accept the policies, procedures and regulations of the university, including the general regulations, student charter, dignity at study, online safety, acceptable use of IT and student disciplinary procedures. The QR code on the right of the page will take you to the policies on the university website. So just to remind you of the range of support available to you. So your course leader and tutor are your first point of contact for any issues that you have. Your SEND officers can be contacted on send@eastcoast.ac.uk, the Wellbeing Officer at wellbeing.ac.uk, the Learning Services at library@eastcoast.ac.uk, and the HE Office at he@eastcoast.ac.uk. There's also a range of mental health support services which we'll mention in a couple of slides' time. So SEND and your RAA. Please note it's your responsibility to update us of any circumstances that have changed. If your reasonable adjustment agreement needs updating, please let your SEND officer know by emailing send@eastcoast.ac.uk. Remember, if we don't know, we can't help. So Learning Services. So the East Coast College Library Digital Support Team page is available to all students. So you log into the ECC Teams and click Teams, select Join Teams and use the code C1G9B64 to register. There's also the University of Suffolk LibGuides page at libguides.uos.ac.uk, which gives you access to the Discovery Service, subject databases, ebooks and academic journal research. So the local learning services. So the library help desks are staffed Monday to Thursday, 8:30 to 4:30 and Friday 8:30 till 4. The Great Yarmouth Campus Library phone number is 01493 419 220. The Lowestoft Campus Library phone number is 01502 525 169 and the Lowestoft Sixth Form Library phone number is 01502 525 667. The library help desk for all sites is library@eastcoast.ac.uk. So just to remind you of the links to a range of local services available on the East Coast College website for mental health support services. The QR code on the right of the page will take you to this page on the college website. It just leaves us to wish you all the best this year. Remember, your results in this year count significantly towards the classification of your degree, so work really hard. Make the step up to the next level and you will do well. Please make sure you have secured your student finance, checked you have re-enrolled and that you can access Brightspace. And if you have any questions, please let the HE office know. Thank you.